Welcome back to botany class. In the previous video, we studied three important experiments. So, Griffith transforming principle and a biochemical characterization of transforming principle given by Avery and Coley and McCart. And finally, the very important experiment, the unequal proof for DNA as a genetic material. The experiment is given by Alfred Harsey and Martha Chase. The experiment also called as Martha and Chase experiment, right? But in that experiment, he used T2 bacteriophage and E. coli bacteria, and also he used the radioactive substance, so sulfur 35 and phosphorus 32, and he conducted experiment and he proved that DNA is a genetic material, not protein, right? In this video, we are going to discuss about the property of genetic material. The property of genetic material, because we confirmed, so already experiments actually there is a clear that the debate between protein and DNA as a genetic material, that was unequally resolved from the Harsey and Chase experiment. There is no doubt in that. And here we have to know there are two types of nucleic acids are there, DNA and RNA. And here DNA acting as a genetic material, even though some viruses, they are having RNA as a genetic material. For example, you take example TME virus, tobacco microvirus, and all retroviruses. So retroviruses, they are having only RNA as a genetic material. And here we are going to discuss the property of genetic material. Property of genetic material. If one molecule, either protein or DNA, RNA, if they want to act as a genetic material, so they have to fulfill some basic criteria. Here we are going to see if the DNA or RNA acting as a genetic material, they have to fulfill some criteria. So just we are going to see if one molecule want to act, because already clear that DNA is a genetic material, there is no doubt. Why the DNA acting as a genetic? Why not RNA? Why not protein? That's a question we are having, right? So that if DNA, if one molecule, if you want to act as a genetic material, so they have to fulfill some criteria. So just we are going to see what are the criteria the molecule has to fulfill. Here we have to see. First, if they want to act as a genetic material, it should chemically and structurally be stable. Should chemically, first must chemically and structurally stable. Structurally be stable. Be stable, right? Actually, comparing with the DNA, RNA is less stable. So DNA is more stable. So the first criteria, if the molecule want to act as a genetic material, it should chemically and structurally be stable, right? This is the first criteria. Second criteria is it should be able to generate its replica. It should able to generate. So able to generate its replica. So replica nothing but, so when heredity information passing from parent to progeny, then they have to pass now, that time it must able to, or it should be able to generate its replication. Only DNA can able to replicate, it can synthesize its own copy. But proteins not possible, and RNAs are not able to synthesize its own copy, right? It should be able to generate its own replica. That is the second criteria. And the third criteria is it should provide a scope for slow mutation. That is a very important one. Scope for slow mutation, because mutation necessary for evolutionary process, because we are all organisms, they are keep on evolving. So how they are evolving now? So already existing genes are there, functioning gene or non-functioning gene. So because of mutation, the genes are become functional or maybe become functionless. So that if the molecule want to act as a genetic material, it should provide the scope for slow mutation. The slow mutation that are required for evolutionary process. Then only the organism will evolve further. Organism they want to adapt. So with changing environment. So that they have to change their gene sequence also. So that it should provide scope for slow mutation. That is a very important criteria, right? And also it should be able to express itself in the form of Mendelian characters. Itself in the form of Mendelian characters. It should be able to express itself in the form of Mendelian character. Okay, see, Mendelian character, what he told. So each and every character of organism is expressed by pair of genes. So during actually there is a two gene pairs are there for each and every character, not single gene. In individual organism, the gene may express contrasting character. The character we are saying that alleles. During gamete formation, so the gamete receive only one gene from the particular pair. And also, so during a progeny formation, the character will segregate independently, so that the organism receive only one allele from the pair. So whatever molecule here acting as a genetic material, that should be able to express itself in the form of Mendelian character. Then only they have to follow the three laws of Mendel's. First law of Mendel, second law of Mendel, and also third law of the Mendel's also. Then only they can act as a genetic material. Okay. So the genetic material should be stable. So it should be stable. So because enough not to change with different stages of the life cycle or age, or with change in the physiology of organism. If for example, whatever molecule, either protein or DNA, RNA, if they act as a genetic material, that molecule, that material should be stable enough throughout the life of the organism or different stage of the life of the organism. Okay. If not stable, what will happen is, so whatever character is expressed in early stage, that may be disappear, or new character may be appear after some time, maybe after some time, like that. So that only they should not change with the different stages of the life cycle and age, or the change in the physiology of organism also. But based on criteria, comparing with RNA, the DNA is most suited and best genetic material, because DNA is more stable than the RNA molecule, because DNA being more stable, so that we are saying that it's the most preferred, the genetic material is DNA comparing with RNA. So why the DNA is the most? Are you clear with this up to this? So here I have listed some criteria. If the molecule that can act as a genetic material, they must fulfill these criteria, then only they can act as a genetic material, right? It should chemically and structurally be stable, and it should be able to generate its replica through replication process, and it should provide the scope for slow mutation. The slow mutation that are required for evolutionary process, and should be able to express itself in the form of Mendelian character. And if the molecule, the genetic material should be stable enough not to change with different stages of life cycle and also age, and if any changes in the physiology of organism also, this genetic material should be stable. So that DNA is being more stable, is preferred as a genetic material. So why it's a more stable than RNA? Why the organism preferring the DNA as a genetic than the RNA? Because during evolution, the RNA is the first genetic material. From RNA only DNA is evolved. So being non-stable, so that the DNA is evolved from the RNA. Why the DNA? So we will see that because both type of nucleic acids are found in all organisms except the viruses. So if the genetic material is DNA also, that organism contain RNA also. But why they are having DNA as a genetic? Why not RNA? The reason, for the first very important reason is, so DNA is a more stable. DNA is a more stable than RNA. So RNA is a less stable one. So less stable. Less stable. There is a very first reason. And the question we are having, why the DNA is a more stable? Why RNA is a less stable? And in initial classes, during this beginning of this chapter, we discussed structure of DNA and RNA. In that we discussed structure of nucleoside and nucleotide. DNA contains 4 types of nucleotide: adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. But RNA contains, instead of thymine, RNA contains uracil nucleotides are present. But the nucleotide wise all are same only. But why the DNA is more stable than RNA? So RNA contains, the reasons are, first one, RNA contains free OH group. Free OH group and second carbon atom. So like if we studied the DNA structure now, the difference between the type of sugar found in DNA, RNA is, so RNA contain ribose, DNA contain deoxyribose. But remaining here, it's DNA contain only, so hydrogen is there but oxygen is less. But second carbon atom, ribose sugars contain OH group. This is a ribose, that for type of sugar found in RNA. This sugar name is called deoxyribose. Deoxyribose. In nucleotide, the type of fundose sugar found in DNA nucleotides are deoxyribose, but RNA nucleotides are ribose sugar. But RNA contain it's a free the OH group at second position of second carbon atom, free OH group. Because of this free OH group, so making RNA, it's more liable and easily degradable. So this, because OH hydroxyl group is there, it's easily degradable, easily reactive group. But here only H is there, but there is no O, which lacks O. That's why it's making DNA. So comparison with RNA, making DNA is more stable. That is one of the reason. Okay. Here listen one more time. Why DNA molecule? Generally DNA is more stable than the RNA. Why DNA is more stable than RNA, meaning is, there are some reasons are there between the DNA and RNA. So RNA contain free hydroxyl group at second carbon atom in its sugar. But DNA contain only hydrogen which lack oxygen at second carbon of the sugar. So this presence of hydroxyl group at second carbon atom, which makes the RNA liable and easily degradable. So when comparing with RNA, DNA is more stable because it lack hydroxyl. There is a first reason. Second reason is presence of thymine. So presence of thymine nitrogen base. The thymine also called as 5-methyl uracil also. 5-methyl uracil. But RNA contain uracil. So in the place of uracil, the DNA contain the 5-methyl uracil, also called as thymine. So that confirm additional stability to the DNA, because here in uracil there is no methyl group, but along with uracil methyl group is there, that 5-methyl uracil we are calling as thymine. Because of methyl group, so it's not degraded by, it's not recognized and degraded by nuclease enzyme. So the presence of thymine is making the DNA more stable, or providing additional stability to the DNA structure, right? And third reason is, So RNA being unstable, and also this mutate faster. RNA molecule mutate faster. Mutate faster than the DNA. So So that's why, because why its mutation rate is fast na? Mostly RNA is a single stranded one, but DNA is a double stranded one. But RNA, so there is no hydrogen bonding in RNA. But DNA, the interchain hydrogen bonding is there. So because of presence of hydrogen bond, which giving more stability than the RNA molecule. So that this is being single stranded, this RNA molecule mutate at a faster rate. But DNA also subjected for mutation. But mutation is very slow only in DNA. So but RNA is, the mutation rate is mutate at faster rate. That is one of the reason. Okay. And also additional stability of DNA given by presence of hydrogen bonding. The hydrogen bonds now in between two strands of DNA, the two strands are held together by hydrogen bonding, but RNA is being single stranded. There is no hydrogen bonding, so that they provide which are less stable than the RNA or DNA molecule. Right? I hope that you understood. So the most preferred genetic material is DNA. Why not RNA? The reason is DNA is more stable than the RNA. So RNA is less stable. Why RNA is less stable? There are few reasons are there. Presence of the OH group, hydroxyl group at this second carbon of its sugar. But DNA lack that OH. O is lack, only hydrogen is there, which provides stability. And the presence of thymine in DNA, then uracil. So in RNA contain uracil. So because uracil, additionally if one methyl group is added fifth position, that 5-methyl uracil we are calling as thymine. So the thymine provide additional stability to the DNA. And RNA mutate at faster rate. Why it mutate faster? It's being single stranded. So DNA is a double stranded, and the presence of hydrogen bonding also provides stability to the more stability to DNA than the RNA molecule. So because of this reason, so nearly all living organisms, they are having DNA as a genetic material than RNA. Only some viruses are not, they are having RNA as a genetic material. For example, you take tobacco mosaic virus, their genetic material is RNA. And retrovirus, the group of virus that specifically infect the animals, that like HIV is there, their genome is single stranded RNA. So some viruses are not, and QB bacteriophages also, they are having RNA as a genetic material, right? And all living organisms except some viruses, they are having DNA as a genetic material. I hope that you are clear with this concept, right? So next we will start with RNA world. RNA world. So RNA is a ribonucleic acid. So consider it's a first evolved genetic material. The first evolved during origin of life. The first evolved and genetic material is RNA, right? During evolutionary process, during origin of life, the RNA considered as and RNA was the first genetic material. There are some evidence. That evidence suggests that essential life process, like if you take the metabolism, translation, splicing, so etc. So this all the life process evolved around RNA. So because these processes mainly depends on RNA molecule. Are you clear with this? There are some evidence. So there are some scientific evidence. That evidence suggests that. So the essential life process, like you take example metabolism, translation, splicing, etc. So these all the processes are evolved around RNA. So that RNA used to act as a genetic material as well as catalyst also. The main function of RNA is, so RNA in initial during evolution origin of life, RNA acted as a genetic material. So genetic material as well as RNA acted as a catalyst. RNA acted as a catalyst also, not only genetic material and also catalyst also. You see, for example, there are some living process in living organism. So some process or some biochemical reaction which are purely catalyzed by RNA. So not by protein enzymes, and some living biochemical reaction that are catalyzed by RNA molecule, not by protein enzyme. So if the RNA molecule acts as a catalyst, you can call it as ribosome. It's a non-protein. So enzymes, ribosomes, they are not protein enzyme. So one of the enzyme name is called ribonuclease. Ribonuclease P is there. This enzyme is purely RNA. So here RNA acts as a enzyme. That enzyme is ribonuclease. So the enzyme which cleave the RNA molecule, whatever RNA which cleave that RNA molecule, that enzyme is ribonuclease. So ribonuclease and SNRPs. This is one enzyme. This is RNA molecule. So the sRNA molecule act as a during splicing process. These enzymes act as a which degrade the RNA molecule, SNAPs, and peptidyl transfer is there. During protein synthesis, the peptide bond is created by peptidyl transferase. The peptidyl transfer is also type of RNA. It's a catalytic RNA. Peptidyl transferase. So these are some examples for RNA that can act as a enzyme. Okay, you see clear? The main function of RNA in living organism is, so living organism, there is some important biochemical reaction in living organism are catalyzed by RNA, not by protein enzyme. For example, if RNA acts as a catalyst, that RNA molecule simply can call it as a ribosome. The example for ribosome here I have given, one is a ribonuclease, cleaving enzyme which cleave RNA molecule. That enzyme is ribonuclease. And SNRPs, this is another enzyme which involved or which catalyzes the splicing process. Another enzyme is peptidyl transferase. It's a type of RNA which catalyzes the peptide bond formation during protein synthesis. So these are some type of RNA enzymes. So so this initial at the time of evolution, RNA only acted as a catalyst and also genetic material. But RNA being catalyst, so because it's having two functions now. So one is a genetic material, another one acting as a catalyst. So being catalyst, this RNA was reactive and hence unstable. Because of the catalytic function of this RNA being unstable and also reactive one, easily it react with other molecule or other substance. So because of this reason, the DNA has evolved from the RNA. So how the DNA is evolved now? By chemical modification. Because you see the main difference between DNA RNA is, so DNA is a double stranded one, but RNA is single stranded. So DNA nucleotides, RNA nucleotide, it contains deoxyribose, but RNA is ribose sugar, and DNA contain the thymine nitrogen base is there, but RNA contain only uracil. So uracil base is there, but there is no thymine base in RNA, right? So by chemical modification, the DNA molecule is evolved from RNA. So you see the difference between here is single stranded. So being single stranded less stable, so that the double stranded DNA is evolved. Ribose sugar second carbon atom contain OH group, By chemical modification, this O is removed from here. It contains only second carbon, contain only hydrogen. So uracil is there. Uracil, the methyl group is added here. So methyl group is added at position carbon number 5. So that it become 5-methyl uracil, we are saying that thymine. So because RNA acting as a catalyst, so because of catalyst, the RNA was reactive and less stable or unstable. So that DNA is evolved from the RNA. So with chemical modification. So because of this chemical modification, it making DNA more stable than the RNA one. So more stable than the RNA. Because so being double stranded, it contains additionally hydrogen bondings are there. But hydrogen bondings are not there in here. And also here you can find a double strand, there is a complementary pairing is there. So complementary pairing through hydrogen base pair. Because of this chemical modification, DNA is become more stable than the RNA. And even though our living cells contain this RNA, why we are having this RNA meaning is, so RNA has some other role than the DNA. So one is RNA, what is the function of RNA? RNA acts as a structural and catalytic molecule. RNA. So which provides structure, necessary structure for the synthesis of protein, and also which act as a catalyst, ribosome. So act as a catalyst also. And also other function is, so RNA molecule act as a adapter during protein synthesis. So RNA is an adapter and also structural molecule and also catalytic molecule, and also which act as a messenger molecule also to carry necessary information from DNA to protein. So these are some important functions performed by RNA in living cells. So because the DNA is more stable, the DNA is, what is the function of DNA? What is the exact function of RNA meaning is, DNA acts as a genetic material. But RNA, there are different functions are there. It acts as a structural catalytic adapter for protein synthesis, but a messenger which carry necessary information from DNA to protein. So DNA being more stable, it is the most preferred the material or molecule for storage of genetic information. So because of more stable, most preferred storage of genetic material. For transmission of genetic information, the RNA is the best material. So you see two important points. So DNA is the most preferred one for storage of genetic information. For transmission of genetic information, RNA is the best material, right? I hope that you understood. So next we are going to start DNA replication. Actually it's a simple process. The process of making up new DNA molecule. Process of making up or synthesis of DNA molecule from existing parental DNA. So making up new DNA. So mostly this one is a new DNA from existing parental DNA. From existing parental DNA. Actually there are many definitions are there. So the process of the synthesis of new DNA from using the parental DNA as a template. Actually the DNA replication is a duplication process. Duplication process. Cell it duplicate its DNA content. Whatever content is there will duplicate. Okay. So the process, the replication, we will see where it takes place. The site of DNA replication is, it's a very important point, where it takes place na, in cell nucleus. Cell nucleus only, it's a site for DNA replication. So when it replicate DNA, so before cell division, both mitotic and also meiotic cell division, before cell division. So before cell division, I am saying that cell division there are two processes are there. So mitosis and meiosis. In both process, both type of cell division, before cell division or when about cell to divide, that time the cell duplicate DNA. What will happen during that time? So what will happen during that time? Na? So if initial the cell diploid cells contain, if it is 2C, that C nothing but the concentration of the amount of DNA present in haploid genome, we are saying that C. And after replication, the DNA content become 4C. So during replication, what will happen is, if the nucleus of cell contain 2C, the quantity of DNA it expressed in picogram, if it is 2C, after replication, it's a replicated, it become 4C. So when I told when it replicate before cell division, if cell about to divide, both mitotic and meiotic division, that time. So during cell division, during the S phase of cell cycle, it duplicate it DNA. So what will happen means the content become 2C become 4C. Why it want to replicate? That is a question we are having, because they want to distribute so equal quantity of DNA, equal amount of DNA to daughter cells. So because when the cell divide, it producing 2 daughter cells. If mitotic division means, meiotic division means, so the cell undergo meiosis, produces 4 haploid gametes. They want to provide, or they want to distribute the equal amount of DNA to the, so equally DNA to the progeny cells, either gametes, so that the DNA, the cell is, it's duplicating it DNA, right? So when it duplicate during S phase of cell cycle, when the cell about to divide, before division, during S phase of cell cycle, either mitotic or meiotic cell division, they will duplicate DNA. So amount of DNA content is, if it is 2C, after replication it become 4C, right? And we will see before entering into the mechanism of DNA replication, we will see the mode of DNA replication. What are the different modes are there? So different scientists, they proposed a different scheme to explain the process of replication. But different scientists, there are many schemes they were provided, but in that the important mode of replications are, there are 3 modes are there. One is conservative, mode of DNA replication. Second one is semi-conservative. Third one is dispersive. Semi-conservative. So semi-conservative, and third scientists, they proposed a different scheme to explain the process of replication in nucleus of cells. But in that there are 3 important schemes are there, or the scheme, or you can say it, mode of replication. One is conservative, semi-conservative, and dispersive mode of DNA replication. As per conservative mode of replication, okay, see here, so double stranded DNA is there. This is a parental DNA, right? Parental DNA. So double stranded one. So one strand is 3' to 5', another one is 5' to 3', right? So during replication, both strand unwind, both act as a template. So one is 3' to 5', another one is 5' to 3', right? 5' to 3', both act as a template. And they synthesis and they make new DNA. But finally, it produces 2 daughter DNA molecule. 2 daughter DNA molecule. Out of 2 daughter DNA molecule, daughter DNA molecule. Out of 2 daughter DNA molecule, these 2 are daughter DNA. Daughter DNA. So out of 2 daughter DNA molecule, so one molecule completely contain both strands are parental strand, and one molecule the both strands are newly silenced one, newly silenced. So that the parental strands are conserved in single molecule of DNA. That's why this mode of DNA replication we are calling as conservative mode of DNA replication, right? Second mode is semi-conservative. In semi-conservative, like parental strands are there. Parental strand, one strand is 3' to 5', another one is 5' to 3'. During replication process, this both strand, the unwind, they act as a template, right? So template, one strand polarity is 3' to 5', another one is 5' to 3'. So both act as a template, so that which produces 2 daughter DNA molecule. Produced daughter DNA molecule, so one strand 3', 5', 5', 3'. So 2 daughter DNA molecules are there, and out of 2 daughter DNA molecule, and each daughter DNA molecule, in that one strand is old, one is parental. Okay, so this one is parental strand, so this one is newly synthesized. Here also you can see this one is newly synthesized, this one is parental strand. Okay, now out of 2 strand in newly synthesized daughter DNA molecule, only one strand is parental and another one is new strand. That's why we are saying that semi-conservative. In conservative, 2 daughter molecules we got it. One molecule both strands are parental, and one molecule both strands are newly synthesized. That's why we are saying that conservative. Here semi-conservative, out of 2 strands, one is a parental, another one is a newly synthesized. That's why we are saying that semi-conservative. A dispersive model. Dispersive model you can see here. We'll write here. So this is a parental. 5', 3', 3', 5'. Both unwind, they act as a template. 5', 3', 3', 5'. And during synthesis, it produces 2 daughter DNA molecule, right? Like this. So out of 2 daughter DNA molecules are produced, right? So you see 2 daughter DNA molecule here we got, but in that 2 daughter DNA molecule, so if you take one molecule, in both strand, the part of or segment of strand is old one, and on some segment is new one. This one is old, parental. So parental, and this one is newly synthesized. Like the parental strand is dispersed throughout the both strand of the daughter DNA molecule. So that's why we are saying that dispersed, the parental DNA. So because if you take the newly synthesized daughter DNA, so if you take one strand of DNA, the strand consists of parental as well as newly synthesized one. So the parental strand is the dispersed throughout the both strand of the daughter DNA molecule. That's why we are saying that dispersive model of DNA. But the most accepted mode of DNA replication is the semi-conservative mode. So the most accepted is semi-conservative mode of DNA replication, which is proposed by James Watson and Francis Crick. So James Watson and Francis Crick. So nowadays what mode of replication we are studying, and the most accepted and the most recognized mode of DNA replication is semi-conservative mode, which is proposed by James Watson and Francis Crick, right? So I hope that you understood the mode of DNA replication. Up to this I will end up this video, and next video we will see the experimental proof for semi-conservative mode of replication proposed by James Watson and Francis Crick. Next video we will see the experimental proof for semi-conservative mode of DNA replication proposed by James Watson and Francis Crick.